Chad's with deep, going deep, Chad and JT.
All right, what's up, Stokers of Stoke Nation? This is Chad Kroger coming in with the Going Deep with Chad and JT podcast, coming in with episode 74. Guys, before we begin, we are brought to you by our dogs at Manscaped. Okay, guys, you have nuts, and you want to let people know that you cherish them like a squirrel cherishes its acorns. So keep your trims pubed with Manscaped. We are also want to give a shout out to our dogs at Los Bigotes. They coming out of San Diego. They have some epic Hawaiian shirts that they've sent our way. So just want to give them a shout out. Los Bigotes, what up? And we're here for episode 74. My dog JT, what up?
What up, boom clap stokers?
And we are joined once again by our holistic health guru, the certified health nut Troy Casey. Welcome back.
Jeb, wow.
Thanks for coming back on. It's good to see you.
Dude, it's always good to see you guys. I get such a fucking kick out of you guys, man. It's so funny.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah. And, you know, the funny thing was I didn't know your podcast was called, you know, Chad Goes Deep. And I said in the first one, it's always an invitation to go deeper.
Oh, we're going deep. Yeah. Oh, you didn't. Okay. Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I said it anyway. So.
Oh, right. So you're already in the same kind of frame of mind that we're in.
Wavelength. Yeah.
Yeah.
Frequency.
What are the frequencies?
What frequency are we talking about? The frequency of the cacao that's in this.
That's good. So Troy actually is the one who got me to switch to the blue juice from the green juice. Why is the blue juice preferable to the green juice?
The thing about green juice is those vegetables are highly perishable, so they need to be, when they're juiced, they can oxidize quickly. So within 15 minutes, you want to drink a fresh squeezed juice. Otherwise, you're paying for dead enzymes. Mm-hmm. So you might as well just pay for a fresh green juice juiced right in front of your face. Or, of course, the liquid sunshine I turned Chad onto, which is all got the enzymes intact. You just add water to it. And then nut milks or fruit juices have a little bit more shelf life because of the citric acid in the fruit juice. And then nut milks are, as long as they're in glass, it can stay, up to 72 hours and still be fresh.
Cool.
And then you didn't bring the hotbay today. Last time we had Troy on, he brought an Amazonian tobacco root drug that is blown up the nose through a ceremonial wood tube. And you got to do both nostrils to hit both hemispheres of the brain. And we only were on our recording for 5 minutes while doing it, but it jacked us up. I vomited, but I had a lot of breakthroughs, so it's definitely a full experience.
We have a pretty epic photo of us on that couch. We're both shirtless, and you're just smiling like that.
Yeah, we had to get shirtless. We should probably get shirtless for today's episode. I feel like that would be fitting. Yeah. And Troy's shredded, so it would be a good eye candy.
Yeah.
You did a great job, though, and that was right after, my partner with the Man Tribe, Alex, he worked in the Amazon for a long time. He gave me the hotbay, and I was like, what's he fucking giving me this stuff for? And then I started using it, and I've used plant medicine over the years, and I really like tobacco. And so I started using it almost daily, and I'm a cowboy. So I was using, decent sized piles. And when you guys said, okay, I was like, all right, okay. And I gave you guys a decent sized pile, like a real decent sized pile.
Oh, right. It felt that way. Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad it was. Yeah. I thought I was just a lightweight when it came to hotbay.
Yeah. Well, and you handled it like a champ. And plus all that energy about your grandma dying at the same time. It was just wild. And then we talked for an hour afterwards and helped you walk you through some stuff. I mean, it's not child's play. It's powerful medicine.
Do you like playing that role of like kind of guru to people who are going through kind of unique experiences like that? I mean, it seems to be your calling, right?
Well, I'm happy to do that. I don't call myself a shaman. I don't call myself a guru. I'm here to help the world get healthy, plain and simple. All knowledge is knowledge of self. And I just help people guide themselves back to their own knowing. I say that we're all knowing self-healing mechanisms. And so when we take the time to go inside, whether it's with fasting or with plant medicine or meditation, we get all the answers. They're right inside of us. And how do I know? Because I had to go through my own, walks through hell, my own problems, my own, I was a party animal back in the day, call it alcoholism, whatever label you want to put on it. But, I had to clean up from that, and went through a divorce recently, and I've had business ups and downs, and we're all in the same boat, and I think the more tools that we can have that are holistic, they're not just going to mask the symptoms like some kind of pharmaceutical drug.
What have you found to be sort of the most effective tools for like gaining knowledge of self, or just basically daily rituals or dealing with life, basically?
Yeah, well, I would say that Vipassana meditation was one of my big wake-up calls. So these are 10-day courses in silence. There's multiple centers all around the world. It was taught to, that's what the Buddha discovered. It's basically mindfulness, Vipassana meditation.
Mm-hmm.
And these centers are 10 days in silence, and you go through a technique, and it's extremely powerful. And then I used that as a daily practice for 6 years of my life, religiously for 2 hours a day. And then
Just silence?
Silent meditation. And then I sat 11 courses, so 110 days in silence over the span of
Wow.
6 years.
Whoa.
And that was fundamentally, it rewired my nervous system. You can see the crazy prison story on Joe Rogan. This guy got, put in prison. He was on death row. He wasn't meant to be there. He was abused and traumatized as a kid. And he learned meditation, and the scientists are like all over him. He sees the neuroplasticity. The guy basically rewired his mind using meditation. So meditation does work. That's definitely a handy tool. The ice baths are handy. Hape is handy, but nicotine's very addicting, so you really want to watch it.
Was it hard for you to stop doing the hape?
Actually, it wasn't. Tobacco is used to usher in your prayers, so it's a very powerful spirit. And so I just used it for praying. While I was using it, I used it for clarity in my business, clarity with my family, peace in my heart, to connect me to God was my dominant prayer. And so when I got off of it, I was just like, all right, I've had enough, and I know this is addicting, and so let me just find peace in my heart, and let me just go off of it. And it wasn't a problem at all. My mind was made up, and so I was very clear on that, yeah.
I've implemented a lot of your techniques since we last met, namely breath work. I did meditation before, but I started doing breath work, and then the ice baths, two things I love, and it's been awesome. Like I've been surfing lately, so I haven't been doing as much. But like when I have free time in the morning, I like to do breath work, like the 30 breaths in and out,
Mm-hmm.
and then some retention, and it really just sort of washes the anxiety away and puts you in sort of a just joyful state, I found.
Yeah, and you guys are asking me, daily tools. Breath work is great. Drop down, do 30, 60, 90 breaths with some retention, and yeah, the anxiety goes away.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a very handy tool. It's an emergency tool. It's what took me through my divorce. I was waking up at 4 a.m. with tons of anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my friends taught me breath work, and I just started doing it. It worked, so I just started doing it.
Yeah. Which, do you think there's a more effective tool, like method, like the Wim Hof, and then there's like box breathing and pranayama, or is it basically whatever suits you?
I think whatever works. I
Yeah.
like to teach my clients and students that you can't do it wrong.
Yeah.
And so really opening up the breathing apparatus, flooding your body with oxygen, doing some retention will help you breathe deeper, especially once you breathe all the way back in. And then I teach some basic Qigong exercises, the Stork Walk especially, because that reprograms the diaphragm.
What's the Stork Walk?
So basically you're walking and flying like a bird. So you bring your hands over your head, which opens up your rib cage and opens up your diaphragm, and then you exhale and you bring your arms down and you bring one knee up. And so that works on your stabilizers. So from the bottom of your feet, your metatarsals, all your nerve endings are at the bottom of your feet, and your survival mechanisms is what helps your head from not falling over and smashing open. So that goes up. All the neurology goes up into your adductors, your glutes, wraps around your spine to your quadratus laborum, all your big, strong muscles that hold up your spine. And so all that's attached, and it's attached to also your breathing. And so when you do the Stork Walk, it basically reprograms your breathing apparatus so that you have deep cellular respiration at rest, during stress, driving in the car, at normal. And so what I recommend doing it for, anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes a day. That's the baseline for reprogramming. And then when you do intense breath work, like breathing breath work, then your breathing apparatus is working more efficiently. And so I think doing all of them. And then box breathing is something that's more relaxing. And you shouldn't be doing breath work in the water or driving or anything like that. I did breath work when my ex-wife was driving me crazy one day, and I just started taking some deep breaths, and I did a inhale retention, and I started to black out. And I'm like, okay, fucking never do that again.
Yeah.
And so, but one day I was driving up to my friend's ranch for about 3 hours, and I got like a stress headache from sitting in the car, and I knew the breath work would help me. So instead of doing the intense breath work, I started doing box breathing. And I'm kind of an intense guy, so I do 10 breaths, then hold 10 breaths, then 10 breaths exhale, and then hold that, and then 10 breaths inhale. And so, and it was very effective. Headache went away, got very calm and very centered.
Yeah, it's cool. It's all about sort of like engaging the breathing apparatus, right? Because just because some people, they just constantly, they're doing shallow breaths kind of stuff, and that sort of builds up the anxiety. Is that correct?
Builds up the anxiety. You also produce your serotonin and dopamine. So also it translates into poor cellular respiration. And poor cellular respiration is directly related to premature aging. So the more you can get on point with your breathing, the more healthy you can be. I mean, it's basically the first level of nutrition, that and maybe sunlight, right?
Yeah.
In my opinion, my approach to it. So breath and sunlight, that's like the first form of nutrition. And there's breatharians out there that try and live, on sunlight and breath. So.
Oh yeah, how do they do that?
I don't know, man. I don't know how successful they are either, but it is a thing. There's this one woman called Jamuna, I think that's her name.
Yeah.
And she does it, and I think there's another Indian guy that talks about it. You got to have your spiritual game on if you're going to just be pulling in energy from the cosmos and and your breath.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
And the other thing I wanted to say is inverted breathing patterns or mouth breathers. Your panic receptors are in your neck, and so
I think that's me.
So we just learn how to breathe from our diaphragm. We'll get you to do the Stork Walk a little bit.
Where's the Stork Walk come from?
Stork Walk I learned from the great Paul Chek, who is Laird Hamilton's coach. He rehabbed Danny Way from a broken neck. And
where'd he learn?
I think he had a Tai Chi Sifu that he learned from. It's in his book, How to Eat, Move, and Be Healthy, where he gives it up. All his Qigong knowledge he gives up to his Sifu. And
Sifu's like sensei?
Sensei.
But from what place?
I don't know that specific lineage, but I know that the story about Master Hong, Master Fong, Master Fa, something like that, is in his book, Paul Chek's book, How to Eat, Move, and Be Healthy. It's in there.
What's Paul like?
Paul's a fucking animal. Paul's just an animal. I mean, he's been on Aubrey Marcus's podcast recently, like multiple times, because he's just blown their minds. And
have you spent like a day with him?
Oh, Paul's my boy. So
What do you guys?
He's like your mentor, right?
Yeah, he's my mentor. I've taken multiple advanced courses from him. It takes 7.5 years to go through his programs. I only did half of his programs. Most people come to him that are usually trainers or advanced trainers for sports teams, or they work for Olympic government, government Olympic teams. And so JP Sears, who's a comedian online, he's trained in Paul Chek systems. He was Chek faculty. So I took a couple of advanced courses from him, and then I just fell in love. He's just such a solid brother, and reading his blogs and watching his videos, I was like, I got to meet this guy. And I helped him out with some social media early on. And
do you guys like go get beers and stuff together?
Well, I don't drink right now, and I don't think Paul drinks at all. But when we get together, we play with the tobacco. That's for sure. He's a really good tobacco shaman. So,
Really?
Oh, that's cool.
And he vaporizes everything.
And what's he looking for when he's doing that? Is he still like, is he at a place? Because I guess you don't ever fully understand who you are or what you're going through, right? It's an ongoing process.
Mm-hmm.
So do you see him like have like brand new revelations when you guys are doing this stuff? Or is he such a vet that it's all minor?
I mean, Paul's pretty woke, you know?
Yeah.
I don't like to use the word enlightenment because I think it's just a trap. But
What do you use?
well, just aware, someone who's awake.
I like that.
I mean, we're all in the same boat. We're in the third dimension, living on planet Earth, and we're all going to go through our ups and downs. There's two forces on the planet: yin, yang, masculine, feminine, anabolic, catabolic, inhalation, exhalation. So there's ups and downs. Excuse me. There's ups and downs everywhere. So I don't think Paul considers himself enlightened, but he's figured out a lot of things. I mean, he can talk extensively for days on end about physiology, biology, psychology, biochemistry. I mean, he figured out the whole paleo thing. He figured out the whole core function thing. He's the one who brought the Swiss balls into sports fitness. Again, he's rehabbed more medically retired athletes to the tune of multi-million-dollar careers than anyone on the face of the planet, including Danny Way, who had
Is he a snowboarder?
Danny Way's the
Skater.
most famous skateboarder.
Oh, I'm
and
sorry.
He holds all the world records.
He did a Christ air from he's like the big air, It's like you do a big gap and then a huge quarter pipe. He did a massive Christ air on the quarter pipe, and then he's also he's done acid drops from helicopters. Have you seen that?
No, but I saw him
like 40
jump the
feet?
Great Wall of China.
Oh,
and,
that's right.
I mean, DC.
And he broke his neck.
He broke his neck in '94. I don't think you can break your neck. He had a spinal cord injury where the doctor said he would never walk again. And 4 months later, he walked out of the Czech Institute and broke the world record.
Whoa.
That's awesome.
And that's just Danny Way. I mean, he's worked on many motocross athletes as well. Robbie Madison, who jumped Caesar's Palace, and again, Laird Hamilton. I mean, who can coach Laird Hamilton? Right?
Yeah.
He's an athletic anomaly, and so he's helped Laird out over the years. And
Do you know Laird?
I don't know Laird, but I know a good friend of his, Darren Olean, and we're kind of like 1 degree of separation.
Right.
But I've never met Laird.
Laird's big in the ice baths too.
Yeah, he loves the ice bath.
Yeah.
He's got his methodology is he has two what do they call those? Ice makers. Those ice maker machines. Do we have any water in here?
You need some water?
Yeah.
I can run and grab some.
He's got 2 commercial restaurant ice making machines, and I think he's got ice baths, like metal ice buckets.
Yeah.
And he just jumps in those. And he talked about it on Rogan recently.
Yeah.
And they've been into it for a while, and he does all that wild where you swim underwater and you lift weights and you got to swim to the top.
Right. Yeah. Or like I see surfers like they go to the bottom, pick up a rock and walk along the bottom.
Yeah.
All that stuff. That's crazy.
And he's got to do that for training for the big waves. Because
Yeah.
when you get down there, boy, that's it, man.
Yeah. You gotta be able to handle that and just be at peace down there.
Yeah.
So you don't panic. It's crazy. We did the ice baths with you, and I loved them so much. When I get the means to, I'm definitely getting an industrial cooler. I'm gonna make my own ice bath. But what's sort of the benefits of the ice bath?
Well, it improves circulation. It increases testosterone. It increases human growth hormone. But more importantly, it activates and energizes the mitochondria, which is the inside of your cells, the energy production centers of your cells. And so I went to the Bulletproof conference recently, and that's what they were talking about was mitochondria. So whether you're doing breath work,
Powerhouse of the cell, if I remember accurately from high school biology.
there you go. That's it. And so that's your, everybody wants energy. It's like coffee or Red Bull or this or that, but no, it's like flip on your mitochondria. And how do you do that? You do that with breath work. You do that with ice baths. You do that with high intensity exercise.
Did they say anything about the flagella?
No. What kind of knowledge are you going to kick on the flagella there, JT?
I just know it works like a prop at the cell, right? To keep it moving.
Okay. All
So
right.
maybe the faster your cells are moving, the faster you're recharging.
Okay, I like that. That makes sense. And, you know, the funny thing is everybody wants all this energy, and people call me all over the place. So you say that, you know, it reminds me, you know, people ask me, you know, what do you have for this or what do you have for that? And it's like, have you tried sleep?
Dude, yeah. That's a big one. I sleep like a log now.
Good.
Yeah.
Good for you. That's where you're going to rebuild. That's where you're going to get all your energy from.
It does feel good, yeah. I was taking bipolar medication. I was taking too big of a dose and I was sleeping too much. But now I think I've got it to a place where it's a little more functionally optimal.
Yeah. Have you gotten into Wim Hof stuff? I mean, they're all into getting people off of medication and like consistent ice baths. So you're manufacturing your own serotonin and dopamine consistently with the breath work and the ice bath.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah, check it out, man. I'd love to get you off the slave pipe of the pharmaceutical dick.
No, I mean, I dig what you're saying, yeah. But
Without hurting anyone's feelings, especially you, JT, or the pharmaceutical, you know, crack slingers.
No, I'm of both sides on it. I could see. I mean, I think it's optimal to have people off, but then I think for some people it works. I just think it takes all kinds.
Yeah, and if you're going to go the holistic lifestyle and put it all together, I mean, it's not just a pill that you're going to take. There's multiple facets.
Right. Yeah.
of
I mean,
it.
I diet, I work out and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are in great shape. You guys and both you guys lost a bunch of inflammation from the last time I saw you. So you guys
thanks.
are doing really good work.
Yeah.
I did talk to a doctor though about ice baths to see if, and he said it's good for recovery, but that some of the other stuff was a little overstated.
Mm-hmm. Does he have a background in ice bathology?
No, I didn't ask him that. But he's he's at Lifespan Medicine. I think he's the guy who does the stem cell replenishment for like Kobe Bryant and guys like that.
Okay. Somebody that is going to say something about that, I'm going to want to know like what their practices are and how healthy they are before I actually really listen to them. And I think science is great.
You're probably buffer than he is.
Well, and I'm not trying to prove anything except for I want to learn from people that have mastered some level of third dimensional consciousness more than I have.
I didn't ask him that.
Well, it shows up in his biology,
Yeah,
physiology,
yeah.
and psychology.
Yeah. He's chill.
Yeah. I mean, I think stem cells probably have their application. I mean, I do all sorts of weird stuff to activate my stem cells. And so, and none of it's scientifically proven. And I'm sure.
What do you do?
Well, my number one anti-aging tool is urine therapy.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been drinking my own urine for 15 years, and my friend cured himself of testicular cancer. He was a Swedish national, so he went over there to get the chemo and everything done for free. And after the chemo, they're like, hey, it didn't work, and we think we got to take out your lymph nodes. And he was smart enough to realize, like, hey, I'm only 30, and maybe my lymph nodes, I might need them later on. So he went home and did some research and found urine therapy, resonated with it, and I think he did a 3-week fast looping his own urine, and he went back and they couldn't find the cancer and it was gone.
Really?
And so, and then he's the same guy who taught me the breath work, and he challenged me to, his name's Dr. P.P. Shivambu. You can, that's his nickname I gave him. Eric Casano is his name, and he challenged Dr. P.P. Shivambu.
But do you ever worry that like so much of this stuff is, I talked to Sean Baker about this too when we had him on, and he was talking about the carnivorous diet, that because it's not practiced in a standardized medical way, there's no real empirical data to back this stuff up. It's like that story. It's primarily anecdotal.
Yeah, totally. And you know what? Even if it's theory and scientific proof, et cetera,
Yeah, not that those things don't change, but it does seem like they're a bit more rigorous in their standards.
right. And my personal humble opinion is whatever works in the present moment. And I'm a bit of a cowboy, an astronaut. I'm going to be the,
Pushing the envelope, pushing the outside of the envelope.
I'm
as
the
they
test
say.
pilot.
Yeah.
I'm going to figure it out. And guess what? I'm not the guy who invented urine therapy or Shivambu.
No, they've been drinking piss since.
The yogis did it, man. They figured that stuff out. The Taoists, started with the Qigong, and they've got all sorts of weird practices, from eating different reptiles and bugs and herbs and poison and this, that, and the other thing. I mean, the poison in the plants is actually what cures you. And it just so happens that the plants have all the other cofactors and the nutrition to support the poison, not from killing you. And then the drug companies, they go, oh, well, we just want the poison. They standardize and isolate the poison. And a lot of times the research on those plants that they're trying to make into drugs becomes so toxic that it will actually kill you, and they have to abandon a lot of that research. And so, as an herbalist and someone who has studied herbal medicine in the Amazon, that research, is handy. So
Yeah, I kind of go similar to what you were saying about whatever makes me feel good, I'm on board with it. You know what I mean? The ice baths, I feel energized, I feel good. Breath work, anxiety goes away, I feel good. No carbs, no sugar, I feel good.
clear mind.
So I just go by that, and I think it's helped my life.
And I think the more you get into that,
Yeah.
the more you'll activate your primal nature, your innate intelligence, and your intuition, which is our internal guidance system. Again, back to, we are all-knowing, self-healing mechanisms.
Yeah.
So if we can tap into our primal nature, then we can heal ourselves and we can create anything that we want in this world.
Yeah. Power of the mind.
Yeah, just look at the Wright brothers. They wanted to fly like an eagle, and everybody said they were fucking crazy.
Or Steve Jobs.
Or Steve Jobs, man.
Right, who died not listening to his doctors.
Yeah. Well, look, and the whole, yes, I agree with you, and I understand where you're coming from, JT. And the whole thing about like holistic health or trying to, death is a part of life. And so ultimately, we have to accept that part of our life and live the best that we can and live in alignment, in accordance with the natural elements of life as much as possible. But death is imminent. In the physical realm, the spiritual realm is a completely different ballgame.
No, for sure. I'm sensitive.
Yeah, I like that about you,
Yeah.
JT. I met you at the Air One that one time, and you were worried that I was offended that you were taking time away from my kids, and I was like, I love you so much, and I was like, no, don't worry about me. I had so much going on. I was on a phone call.
Right.
I was wrestling my kids, and then I wanted to say hi to you, and yeah, you're a sensitive guy. You're a very sensitive guy, and there are special attributes about that aren't really honored in our culture. And so, but you're a great comedian, so it translates very well because you're so sensitive.
Oh, thank you, man. It's very magnanimous of you. Yeah.
Okay.
That was a good moment.
Yeah.
Jeb, wow.
Wow. Sweet. So well, should we dive into it? I mean, you say we could dive into Rites of Passage. Mentioned you wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, so I think one of the major things that's missing in our world today and is a rites of passage. The Maasai warriors, they used to give the 12, 13-year-old boys a stick, and basically they weren't allowed back into the tribe unless they killed a lion. And so
That's pretty tough.
that's pretty tough, man.
Yeah. They're extinct.
No, they're not extinct.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. And so, and then who else do we have? We've got the Native Americans. They did Sundance. where
Like
they
Vision Quest and stuff
Vision
like that.
Quest. You stay up on the
Yeah.
mountain with nothing but yourself.
The Spartans, they did the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. It makes you anti-fragile. And right now, what we've
Did
done...
you read that book?
No,
Oh, okay.
but somebody told me about it.
Yeah, Nicholas Kassim Taleb. I read a little bit of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so David Goggins is all about that too.
Right.
Do something you hate every day or don't want to do or something. That's where the ice bath comes in handy, or sitting a Vipassana course, or something that's going to challenge you. Going down to the Amazon and drinking ayahuasca with the shamans down there, something that's going to challenge what you think you know, or whatever the culture has programmed you to think you know, to be a good consumer or whatever. But obviously, the world's gotten us as far as it's gotten us, and I'm so grateful that I live in this world and we've got all these great things like this technology. But if you're looking at the way things are going, things are a little bit unsustainable. So it's just time to change. And one of the best ways to, especially for men, is really to become anti-fragile, to become resilient, and to really stand up for what matters most, which is life. And life is directly related to, in my humble opinion, air, water, and soil. Without those things, there's no...
Why especially men?
Because I think men are natural leaders, women are natural nurturers. And so it's just the masculine and feminine qualities, and we have them both inside of us. But
You don't think that's kind of a conditioned notion?
Well, men are stronger physically, biologically.
Agreed, yeah.
And traditionally, how we evolved, and I'm down for evolution and evolving beyond where we are now as well. And men have historically gone out and either killed or be killed, right? Protect the tribe, and also provide, food and sustenance for the tribe. So it just comes down to balance and utilizing the energies that are best used properly. And so man has a lot of power and aggression inside of them. Man is both savage and saint. And so to be able to activate both those energies, harmonize, integrate both the light and the shadow, to become a whole, complete person instead of a fractured idea or a facsimile.
No, I like what you're saying, and I like the verbiage, but I just feel like our skills and savagery are more specialized now and not needed across the board as much. So the notion of a leader needing that has been somewhat reduced.
To a certain degree, but if you look at history and you look at the way the Constitution was written, it's really about tyranny from inside forces and outside forces, and so we can never really become complacent. And I think the Native Americans, what they
Yeah, I was just speaking specifically to the notion of needing those traits to be a leader. But I hear what you're saying about yeah.
And I totally agree. And well, here's one thing that most people don't realize, that the Constitution of the United States was co-opted to a certain degree by the founding fathers from the Native Americans, the Iroquois Confederacy. The only difference between the Constitution, the way democracy is set up, is that women had the power to place the men in power as they saw them. So that was part of the Iroquois Confederacy. And that's been left out of the Constitution of the United States. So the feminine had the power to take whoever was leading in or out of power.
Mm.
Right. But there's been matriarchal societies throughout history as well.
Yeah, and I'm not saying one is better than the other. I think this is a big, broad, in-depth discussion, and I think what you see in the world today, or at least in the media, is this whole notion of polarization. And one is not better than the other. I'm calling for
Meritocracy.
Okay, yeah.
No,
that
I'm
sounds,
sorry.
Equitable, I like that word. Balance, ultimate, balance, full integration of both masculine and feminine, and then utilizing each energy as you need in the moment. Like if,
Yeah, you're talking about having the whole toolkit available to you.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, not one is better than the other. Men are better than women or any of that stuff. It's the integration of both and honoring the divine qualities of each.
So how do you nurture basically the masculinity within you, or the femininity with it? Like, how do you sort of work to basically nurture them and sort of become fully realized?
Well, I think first and foremost, I've figured out there's about 9 major pillars of health. And so, hydration, nutrition, sleep, movement, exercise is a necessity, not a luxury. It moves the lymph, the interstitial fluid, proper sleep hygiene. I think nature and sunlight, grounding is important. Relationships. Excuse me. So relationships. So, maybe we feel that we've been wronged or something. So forgiveness, understanding, letting go of resentment. Those are important. And also, I think it's very important to have purpose, to have your dream mapped out, your legacy, what you want to achieve. One of the exercises I take my men's group through is, your best friend is standing in front of your casket. You're dead as a doornail, and he's up there reading your eulogy. what is this brother reading about you? What is this human being? What is your mother, father, whoever's reading your eulogy? What is the life that you lived? And so you create that by what your heart desires, what you desire. And so you live by design as opposed to by default. It's like, what do I want to achieve in my life? You know, what's on the bucket list? Do I want to climb Mount Everest? You know, one of the things I work with clients as well is like, do you want to have kids? Because that's important, because you're going to want to start focusing on how you're going to do that.
It changes your actions. Yeah.
Correct. And it gets you out of bed in the morning, JT.
No, I totally agree. When I'm driving around and I'm not listening to music, I'm literally pretending to be my friends doing the eulogy at my funeral. Yeah. I've done that since I was little. It's just always been
Really?
of the utmost importance to me. Yeah.
So
Or
that's
I'm writing other people's eulogies too. Yeah.
okay.
And they're all bangers.
I listen to Jessica Simpson.
Nice.
I do that too. Yeah.
She gets me amped.
She gets me thinking about the eulogies for whatever reason. Yeah. I've always been sensitive to pop music too.
I just try to stay amped 24/7.
Me too. Yeah, I think passion's important. The etymology of passion, or you break the word down, it comes down to passing ions, which is electricity. And so you get around someone that's
But
passionate.
that's only in English, right?
Sure, that's in English, but I think it probably could
Obviously,
be
yeah.
it could be transferred over into other languages.
I thought you were saying that's the etymology of the word. I'm sorry.
Well, the breakdown, the wordsmithing, or the
It still works with the Latin prefix and suffix.
the word magic behind it. So passion, passing ions, electricity. And so when someone has passion, it's contagious. And so I think there's a verse in the Bible or something like that. Not that I'm a Bible thumper, but I think there are spiritual axioms in some of the texts that we have on this planet. And what is it? Where there is no vision, the people will perish, right? So what is your vision of the future? Most people just think, oh, we'll be on oil forever. We'll always be using this current iteration of money, the fiat currencies, without a gold backing, and everything's just going to be rosy. And the fact of the matter is I worked in the Amazon for many years. I saw the piles of sawdust, the mountains of them. I knew the statistics that were happening with biodiversity, et cetera. We've acidified our oceans. I'm really proud of you guys for doing the coral thing, because
The bleach.
that was admirable. So we've got a planet here that sustains our life and my children's life and my grandchildren's grandchildren. So I want to make things, as copacetic as possible with the energy that I have. So I've figured out my own dream or legacy. My mission is to raise human consciousness and change all systems on the planet. And my vision is clean air, water, soil, and equitable systems for all mankind. I don't know exactly how that's going to shake out, but I'm willing to have the conversation at any given moment. And I believe that innovation and human intelligence can evolve what we're doing now to something that's more sustainable. Not necessarily utopia, or people get caught up in socialism when I start talking about. That's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm talking about evolving past the fiat currencies, and Peter Diamandis is already talking about this in Singularity University. We're going to be in a post-capitalistic world in the next 12 years. The car market's going to dry up in the next 7 years. If you know anything about Kodak or Kodak stock, it took a hockey puck inverted exponential growth to the bottom in 2011.
Because people don't use film anymore.
People don't use film anymore. And so this is just, what's happening.
So do you think we're going to go to more like, what's the word, agrarian-like society? Like, are we going to get smaller again and just be sustainable from the earth around us? Or do you think it'll still work under like a large overseeing government body?
I don't think we need a government if we're governing ourselves.
So you do see it getting kind of like smaller?
What smaller? Government?
Like the level of community that we're in, or the level of society that's kind of governing us.
I see a complete liberated species where this is a moot conversation and we're all taking care of ourselves and the environment around us based on the laws of biomimicry, which states life creates conditions conducive for life. So a spider will take materials in their local environment at an aqueous temperature, in aqueous solutions at room temperature, and build something that's 5 times the strength of steel. And so if they can do that, if nature can do that, we are nature. So let's figure out how we can do that without the scarcity mindset and the separation mindset of ownership. And there's only 4 human needs: water, food, shelter, and
Sex.
fire. Well,
Sorry. I was being serious.
Do you think? So do you think we'll gradually? Do you think it's going to be just a gradual shift as we sort of get more in touch with the natural world again?
I think there's going to be a quantum leap, and I think we're already in the middle of it right now. And this is a spiritual evolution. People are waking up.
Yeah, I've heard that like there's like I've heard from like on like Russell Brand or something. He's like, we're in like a shift of consciousness right now.
Yes.
What's like the Aquarius? Is that right?
Well, you've got the astrological signs. Yes, that has application. Yes, we're moving into the age of Aquarius. They talked about that in the 60s. And of course, it takes a while to move through the astrological signs. It takes 2,000 years, I think, for each astrological signs, and 26,000 years for a complete cycle. I think the yogis and the Vedic scriptures talk about the Kali Yuga. And so you can get more details from that if you want to go deep down the rabbit hole. The fact of the matter is physically sustainable wise, whether you look at the oceans, whether you look at our topsoil, whether you look at biodiversity, whether you look at our rainforest that creates the oxygen, things are being done unsustainably right now. And a lot of it's based on oil. Mm-hmm. And the oil is intertwined with the petrodollar, which are fiat currencies. And if you know anything about money, the Rothschilds have been funding both sides of the war since Napoleon. And so the gig's up. Let's just evolve to the next evolution.
Is there still going to be, because we're all like capitalists, we all are trying to make a lot of money doing what we're doing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
How does that jive with like this next phase of consciousness?
Well, I think Einstein said that you can't solve the problem at the same level of the mind that created it. So we're still in the system. I'm still in the system. I'm in the matrix with you guys. But my mind is definitely in the future and how we can manifest something that's more sustainable. So I'm calling forth the gift economy, where brothers and sisters give what they love to do. The number one feared thing is public speaking. I don't have a problem with that. Some people like to cook food. Some people like to grow food. Some people like to take care of children. Who's going to wash the bathroom blocks on Santa Monica Beach? I will. Why? Because I love Santa Monica Beach. If I got to do something like that for the community, I can put my ego aside and scrub public bathrooms. I don't have a problem with that. That's just one facet of it. Michael Tellen.
Are we still going to have Instagram?
That's a good question, because I'm pretty addicted to it right now.
Well, we need it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or else I'm going to have to go back to school.
Yeah. Like we're going to film ourselves cleaning the steps, right? And then edit it to have a nice song behind it. So it moves, so it's more exciting than just watching step cleaning.
So you can make it viral, so
Yeah.
everybody else cleans the steps too,
Yeah.
so you're not the only one.
Yeah. And then we get like a TV show out of it.
Yeah, there you go.
But who's going to be the channel?
Well, like I said, everyone's got their gifts. And if you haven't been watching technology is basically going to replace everything anyway.
Right.
The car market, they say, is going to dry up in the next 7 years because we're going to have driverless cars and basically Uber-type transportation. And me personally, I've evolved so much that I actually don't want to be in a car. I want to be outside, moving my body in the natural environment. And so most people are driving in traffic to a job that they hate, in a car they can't afford, and they don't have time to cook nutritious food, and so they're unhappy, they're unhealthy. And so I'm calling forth evolution in human consciousness. And so my 4 major solutions, because I'm running for president of planet Earth here in 2020, coming up, is my platform is clean air, water, soil, equitable systems for all mankind. And my platform is free energy, so Tesla technology. Even if it's not Tesla technology, which he harnessed the Earth's the energy field, the magnetic resonance of the Earth. You can watch documentaries on YouTube all about his life.
No, I'm super tight with Nikolai.
So there you go. So and the people like Elon Musk are already building infrastructure around that type of future energy source, however it rolls out. And so free energy. And in the 80s, they were on cold fusion until somebody spanked the physicist and told him to shut the fuck up. Mm-hmm. So whatever the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. The Wright brothers is just the perfect example. Steve Jobs is the next best example. So whatever the mind can believe and whatever it can conceive and believe, we can achieve. This is the laws of alchemy. Focus creates reality. Mm-hmm. So we just have to focus from our heart's desires what we actually want and call it forth. So free energy is going to subjugate the majority of our problems. Plastics in the oceans, geopolitical wars for natural resources. It's attached to the petrodollar. You've got petrochemical byproducts that are in pharmaceutical drugs, petrochemical byproducts that are in herbicides and pesticides. It's actually what is used to stick the herbicides and pesticides. These things are all intertwined into what's called democracy or capitalism, and capitalism is basically just crony capitalism, which is a form of socialism. And so once we have free energy on the planet, most of our issues go away. And so there's 4 needs again: water, food, shelter, and fire. And fire is represented with technology. And so once we get our fire taken care of, then the petrodollar is attached to the oil infrastructure, which has co-opted the military-industrial complex of the United States of America. So once we have free energy on the planet, then most of those problems go away.
Will drinking your own pee also be on
Well,
the
that only
campaign page?
It only depends on if you want enlightenment. No one has to partake in drinking their own urine.
Can you shoot it straight, or do you need to put it in a glass first?
I like to put it in a glass, man. I got a big dick, but it's not that big.
I believe it. You're a healthy guy.
Oh, speaking of that, sorry, I gotta do a mid-roll.
Okay.
We are brought to you by our dogs. Since we're just on Dong Talk, we are brought to you by our dogs at Manscaped. Guys, you want to let the world know. Hold on, I'm on airplane mode. Guys, when you present your nuts to the world, you want them to know that you care. And the best way you can do that is by hitting our dogs up at Manscaped. These guys will take away the fear of nicking your ball sack while manscaping. That's for sure. They have the perfect package 2.0 kit that features the Lawnmower 2.0 with skin-safe technology. This trimmer will not nick or snag your nuts. It's also 100% waterproof and shock-resistant. Do not use the same trimmer on your face that you use on your balls. Precision tools for your family jewels, guys. Do you dabble in manscaping?
I love that. When I did stand-up, I had that one joke. I broke character in the middle of my set, and I go, I'm just a man, and sometimes I shave my balls. But I'm not a gay man.
That's what the... Okay. Troy, can we have you... Sorry.
Get 20% off, free shipping, and a free travel bag with code GODEEP at manscaped.com.
Troy, can we have you stick around and answer some questions with us quickly?
Yeah, I wanted to finish my campaign here.
I'm sorry.
So free energy, gift economy, where brothers and sisters share their gifts of what they're good at. Self-care education, so everyone knows how to take care of themselves. As above, so below is the natural law of correspondence. If everyone would just be healthy and take care of themselves, we would naturally buy goods and services that are good for the earth as well. Gift economy, free energy, self-care education, and permaculture. Food is free, guys. Drop a seed in the ground and it fruits. We live in a world that you have to bring it to market, so that costs money. So once the money's gone, permaculture is set up. Food forests grow free, and we get our local food. We throw away as much food as we make on this in this country, and 1 in 4 children in Los Angeles County are food deprived. So the food issue is an illusion. It's all based into the money situation where everybody's just trying to make money, and crony capitalism is getting worse and worse, and so everybody's got to charge more, and everything's more expensive. And so the next step of the evolution, and remember, I'm not the only one calling for a post-capitalistic world. The tech guys are already saying it's going to happen in the next 12 years. So,
just because of automation and stuff.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting.
we're going to evolve. Period.
Before we go into questions, do you want to talk about Man Tribe real quick?
Oh yeah, so we do Man Tribe. at least once a month. We've been doing fire circles in Venice Beach as well. So if people want to come in, do an ice bath, get some stuff off their chest, we'll light a fire and just, be men. Just hang out and be men. It's okay to be a man. It's okay to be a man. It's just okay, right? And I'll give you some tune-ups if you come for the workshops or the retreats that we do. We teach you Qigong, some basic tutelage on the Stork Walk, get your breathing apparatus, get your mind straight. We do purpose, dream, and legacy. We talk about nutrition, blow some hape up your nose maybe, and we got some plant medicine on the side, just in case that's right for you. And we have it at the time. We don't always have it, but just being men and little rites of passage. We're not going to make you walk through the fire, stay in the ice bath for an hour and a half, or stay up on the mountain naked or anything like that. But just a place to really just be men and offer support, knowledge, wisdom, mindset, movement, and nutrition.
Yeah, I think rites of passage are huge. Like, you got to go to prom, you got to go to your 10-year reunion.
You got to get wasted.
Yeah, you got to go through these steps because it's like it's just critical in terms of how you evaluate your own life.
Yeah. Take acid, wake up naked, don't know what the fuck happened.
And when you said drink your pee if you want to have enlightenment, but you meant awareness, right?
Yeah, it was just a joke.
No, because you told me earlier you don't like the word enlightenment.
I know. So
my bad. I was joking too. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So just the pee has got some magic in it, man. If you're brave enough to face yourself and try it, you just might like it.
I'm gonna try it.
I'm pretty addicted to it myself, man. I like it. It's a direct feedback loop. It's telling you what's going on with your biocomputer, stuff you need to change. And this, again, goes back to your primal instincts and your innate intelligence. Oh, maybe I shouldn't be drinking that or eating that. My pee tastes like crap. And it's on a subconscious level, right? Mm-hmm. Even when I was doing a lot of hape, that would make my pee a little bit more acidic. So it was always a direct feedback loop, and I knew where to adjust my nutrition. So I started taking more reds, more antioxidants into my body because the tobacco is like fire. So it was intuitively teaching me what adjustments I needed to make in the moment.
Cool. All right, let's get into some questions. What's up, Guardians of Stoke? I'm a 23-year-old stoker who lives in New York City, and I've worked in a sales support job for about 5 months. This is my second job, and I'm really starting to think the corporate world isn't for me. I've started exploring the idea of moving home, working as a waiter or any shift job, and in my off time, working on what I think may be my true passion, writing movies. It will also give me time to figure out what I really want in this crazy little thing called life. Should I quit my job and leave my career in the dust to follow my true passion? I'm worried if I quit, I may be giving the opportunity to get a promotion and more money, but also if I don't spend time working on my passion, I may end up living a life of regret. Stokers, please shed some light on this trying dilemma. Thank you.
Okay, you guys go first.
How old did he say he is?
23.
Oh, I mean, dude, you're young. You got to go for it. If there's some financial worry, I'd make sure to get that situation set up. But, I mean, I think the biggest regret you'll have is not going for it if you don't. So I'd give it a shot, start writing. If you have a job, maybe just start writing at night and see how you like it. See if you can produce a full script and get that out there. You got to start creating and see where that takes you.
Yeah, I totally agree with Chad. I think you're young enough where you don't have obligations where you can really pursue this without, messing up anything else. And then I think the thing you got to do is just start writing now. How do you write a great play? You write a lot of plays. It's just repetition, man. Just keep doing it. Read some books on how to do it and just keep churning them out. And then before long, you'll be a pro. Check out Stephen Pressfield, The War of Art, for some boost. He's really good at getting you to write.
Yeah, good stuff. I agree with you guys. Awareness is the first step. So it's aware that you're aware of your heart's desire. And so start moving in that direction. Make sure you got a day gig so you can support yourself in this fiat currency situation. But yeah, take risks, man. You're 23 years old. Follow your heart's desire. Do what you love. The money will follow as long as we still have money. But the fact of the matter is do what you love, because we're moving into the gift economy anyway. So you might as well just start focusing on what you love.
Yeah, cultivate it now.
Yeah.
What up, Chad and JT? I have a problem that I need to solve involving my squad. Me and my homies have been chilling together for a couple years now and have been bonding together due to our shared enjoyment of raging. We always party at one of our friend's house in his garage where we rage every week. Unfortunately, my friend who owns the house is leaving college months earlier than the rest of us. I want to keep the squad intact, but it's difficult to find a place to trap now that my friend is about to leave. How should I go about keeping my squad together? Thanks, Ryan.
Wait, what?
Huge issue. Ryan, I would band together with your bros and I would rent another garage. I would go on like Airbnb or Craigslist, hit somebody up who's renting a room at their place and be like, yo, don't really want the room, just want to know if you have a garage. And then you can name it the Barrage, which is what my buddies who went to ASU called their garage because they like the word ba.
Or, you know, if you can't find a garage, hit up a storage place. I'll chip in, get a nice storage locker, shut the door, and let the fiesta begin.
Just make sure you have some fans because those things get hot as a mother, dude.
No fans.
Why?
Like the miners in Chernobyl. They get naked.
Yeah. I encourage you guys to drop dong. You'll bond more intensely.
Yeah.
What say you, Troy?
Yeah, follow the bliss and follow your bliss, and don't ask for permission. So if you're going to rent a place, and you might not want to let the cat out of the bag, and just play to your heart's desire until they kick you out.
Nice. What up, dudes? I hope you boys had fun in Cabo. Also, huge shout out to Strider, who has been a relationship god to me and my GF. He is the lord of relationship wisdom. I have a dilemma and thought you stokers could help me out. I've been getting massively stoked on water lately, and I drink about 2 gallons a day. I feel great, but the downside is that I gotta leak the lizard a few times an hour, and people are getting suspicious. My girlfriend thinks I'm talking to another babe, and my bros think I'm up to some shady shit. I tried telling all of them that I've just been so amped on water lately, and they still don't seem to believe me. What should I do, bros? Do I hold my liquid gold in so I don't leave as much, or do I get less stoked on water and find something else? Thanks again, broski. Keep killing it with the #1 pod in SoCal. Cole.
Woo! All right, I got this, guys.
Yeah, this is right up you.
Okay, so a good marker to understand with water is half your body weight in ounces of water a day. So, do the math on that and figure out how many ounces that you need. And then if you're exercising, a little bit more. If it's hot out, a little bit more. If you're not doing as much activity, a little bit less. You can kill your digestive fire and mess up the balance inside your body by drinking too much water. 2 gallons sounds excessive as hell. And so stay balanced, my brother. I think 2 gallons is way too much. And so do the math, figure it out, and that's my advice.
What
You also don't want to, it'll throw off your electrolyte balance. It'll wash the minerals out of you. And also, I have to talk about quality. Quality is so important. Make sure that you've got at least reverse osmosis, and then you're structuring the water with some type of minerals. Celtic sea salt will work, or real salt is fine. So get the purest water that you can drink is very important in that conversation.
What do you think of Brita?
Brita is basically child's play when it comes to, you want reverse osmosis at a baseline to there's pharmaceutical drugs, there's all sorts of stuff inside the water supply. So, and there's chlorine and there's fluoride, and you definitely don't want fluoride unless you want a calcified pineal gland, which is your third eye, which is your inner vision, which is your innate intelligence, your primal instincts. So don't be drinking fluoridated water, please, if you want to be healthy and enlightened. Just a twist, JP. JT.
No, it's JP too. Yeah. What would you tell to people though who are like, who are very into their alternative lifestyles, and it feels like the people in their circle like are thinking negatively on it?
Well, you have to come balanced with your relationships to a certain degree, and also sometimes the relationships are time to grow out of it. So, get a good mentor that has walked this path before you. That's a service I provide on my Instagram. And again, it's not that I want to be a guru or anything. Hey, I've tested a bunch of stuff. This is my results at 53 years old. You can look into it and test it for yourself as well. So find mentors that have walked before you, that have done what you want to do. Like, what's this guy's goal for drinking all this water?
I think he's just trying to be healthy, but
yeah. So that's out of balance. So you're gonna dilute your digestive juices, and you're gonna demineralize your body as well with too much water. So it's gonna create imbalances. So balance is what he wants.
I think going along with what you're saying, if you lead by example, if your friend group isn't really, they're kind of clowning on you for your alternative beliefs or whatever, then maybe you just don't say anything. But if you like look healthy, you feel good, you're happy, then they can't argue with that. You know, like and you as well, like you're shredded. You look great, so I mean no one can argue with that, and you're healthy, so
Well, I'm
if
just
people disagree,
leading by example. And look, I got my own shit, you know? It's like, people get around me and they think they got to be perfect. And it's like, I got my own hang-ups. I got my own vices, you know? I just recently went no FAP, no caffeine, no THC, and no nicotine. So, I faced myself. I was enjoying the shit out of using all of those, and I faced myself, and I love my energy field now. It's like great. So I had both, right? I was totally conscious with everything that I was doing while I was doing it at my age. When I was younger, I was unconscious, just fucking party, right? But as I was older, I was like, I'm going to use, the THC for some relaxation, some deep sleep, different time period in my life, had some extra stress. I really liked the hape and the nicotine, what it was doing for my business and sharpening my mind. The caffeine, same thing. It was keeping me nice and razor sharp. And then I just realized this is not that sustainable, especially at the levels I was doing it. So I weaned myself off of all of that stuff, and I went cold turkey. And I hear the NoFap is dynamite, so I'm like, fuck, all right, let's try that.
I've been trying. That's tough.
Hey man, fuck it. I'm into human optimization, so it's tough.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do it. So I'm about a month and a half into it.
Oh, nice.
No ejaculation, the whole nine.
Wow.
And I studied the sexual kung fu and the tantra too, and it is next level. The thing is you got to have a good partner that you can get down with, and both those partners got to be healthy, because when you're having sex for an hour, 2 hours at a time, your body's fucking going, man.
Yeah.
You want your health with you.
Yeah.
I remember I went for like 6 hours, a little marathon.
Nice.
And I was supposed to do stand-up that night. I was drained. I was like, I don't have any jokes to tell him. I need a green juice.
Yeah, dude, I would tell your friends, if they're super suspicious of you, to leave your pee in the bowl, and it'll be super clear, and then they'll see the proof in that. Although that's kind of counter to what we told the girl last week whose boyfriend wanted to observe her dump to make sure she wasn't cheating on him. What's up, Chad and JT? Me and my boys recently got turned on to the pod, and it's got us stoked. In my last 2 semesters of my major right now, work and have a girlfriend, so I'm pretty busy. But on top of that, me and the boys play in a band together. We're also roommates. The band has been doing great. We've been around for about 6 months. We've played some fun shows in the Atlanta area, and it's been sick. However, as of late, I found myself getting down on myself and being really hard about our success. I feel like I'm tying too much of my self-worth into it, which makes it tough sometimes to get amped, even though I'm doing what I love. I find myself obsessing over whether we're good or not, if we're going to be successful, or if we just suck and no one wants to admit it. What have you guys done in your careers when you face this issue? P.S. My go-to as of late is to throw on the pod when I'm feeling down or funky, and it's filled my stoke tank every time. Much appreciate. What do you guys think?
Can you reiterate or point?
Yeah, so he's in a band, and he feels like it's just taking up too much of his self-worth, basically. Like he's judging himself so harshly for what they're producing. He's so worried about what their long-term prospects are. He's so worried about like the quality of what they're putting out that he doesn't know if he can take it, basically, or how to make it easier on himself.
Yeah, my improv teacher used to teach me your mistakes are your greatest assets, and he always quoted this pottery company out of Japan, which is like for centuries, it's the best pottery company in the world, and you have to apprentice with them for 20 years. And after every pot that you make, they break it, so you're not attached to the outcome.
Whoa.
So my advice is just play like it doesn't matter, and just enjoy it. Make mistakes. Give yourself permission to fuck up.
Yeah, I remember Dave Grohl once said when he was working in a warehouse or something, that was his day job. His only goal was to get on stage and just rock out, and he's like, and to him that was being a successful musician. If he like went on stage that night in front of a live audience and shredded the drums, he was successful. Nice. And I've always sort of tried to have that mindset of like, whatever we're doing, if like we're doing a video or like stand up or something, just focus on that and have fun and enjoy the process. And if it doesn't go well, then just keep chugging forward and keep getting in front of people and keep making mistakes. It's all about the journey.
For sure. And dude, I think you're in good company with being really hard on yourself about this stuff. Like Bruce Springsteen, I think, took the master copy of Born to Run before it was released, drove out to the forest and was ready to torch the thing so that it would never be heard again. And then it went on to be, I think the biggest rock album of the 70s and an iconic thing. So just trust the process. Just keep going. And like Troy said, I think there was another pottery class where they told half the class to make the best pot they could, and they told the other half to make as many pots as they could. And the half that they told to make as many pots as they could ended up making better stuff because they weren't
attached.
They weren't judging themselves as harshly on it. Yeah. They weren't trying to be perfect.
Yeah, and on topic, my buddy Simon Rex made a song called "My Dick," and
I remember that.
When Andre Legacy and Mickey Avalon came to him and they wanted to make beats for it, he's like, "This is fucking stupid," right? And he didn't even really understand it, and he just put together whatever, and he always made great beats. Anyways, it's their only platinum selling album, and it was their best hit to date. Mm-hmm. So don't become attached to the outcome, and just do your thing.
For sure. And dude, we'll put at the end of the podcast, we put on a song. We'll throw one of your guys' songs at the end of this.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
It's like, that's sort of like with our videos and stuff, with a lot of the stuff where it's like, there's even, I don't know if I should say this, but even with the party speeches, we're like, let's throw it up, see how it goes. And that ended up being like one of our most successful videos. So you just you never know, keep making stuff. And you never know. We've made stuff where I was like, oh, this is going to be such a hit, and then like people don't really care, and then you make some stuff you're like, oh, this is throwaway, and then it's like boom, you're just like, what the fuck.
JP Sears thought he was going to do career suicide, poking fun at the whole spiritual movement, and his career just skyrocketed. He got an agent at CAA, book deal, TV deal. So you just never know.
Dear Lords of Stoke, I'm in a little bit of a tough sitch. Over the course of my last year, there was this girl who I hooked up with a few times, and she started to catch the feeling flu. I thought of her as a close friend with benefits, completely ignorant of these building feelings. When I found out, I couldn't really reciprocate the feelings she was sending towards me. However, I am a male, and males are weak to the seductive arts. She has continued to text me, even though I have told her nothing is going to happen. The worst of it, however, is that I've kind of got a thing for her best friend. We are on the same swim team, and I've watched her turn into a complete babe over that last year. She's a Class A babe with a great personality, way out of my league, except that I'm in the grade above her and decent looking. She lives like 4 houses. I do appreciate how it feels like you're being honest about all of this stuff to me. She lives like 4 houses from me, so it would be hella convenient, and I'm friends with her whole family. A complete package. My question is, how can I completely end things with the first girl without being a piece of shit and go for the second? This could be a make or break for me this summer, so any help would be greatly appreciated. Yeah, I don't know, man. This is tough. I don't know, because people are going to get, the one girl's definitely going to get hurt feelings, probably. And but I don't know if it's fair to you to tell you not to pursue the girl you like, even though they're friends. That's probably more the choice that girl has to make. But I think you should talk to the first girl and just tell her how you're feeling and what you're thinking, so that she doesn't get sideswiped by all of it. And I mean, it's tough. I mean, who wants to do that? But I think when you look back on it, you'll feel better if you do.
Yep. Honesty is the best policy. Be honest, be able to face yourself, have the balls enough to face yourself, and find strength in vulnerability.
Yeah, honesty. I concur.
Hi, guys. Just want to say I love the pod, and it makes my day a little brighter. Sorry, these are so long. A little brighter even in the rain. I'm an international college student from Northern Ireland, hence the rain reference. And last November, I was suspended from college in America because I hit a campus safety officer outside a frat at 3 a.m. while severely drunk. I ended up hitting him because after complying to leave the party, he then told me I had to leave further from the premises, to which I refused because I had already done what he asked by leaving the party. He tried to force me to leave the party further, then it got physical. Anyway, I was suspended until this coming semester, September, and I have 1 year left, but I have been offered a job in New York despite all that went on with college. I'm stuck between going back to college or going straight in for the job, and I would love your guys' opinion. Also, it's worth mentioning I have a great girlfriend at college who has stuck by me in this long distance relation. I'm also part of the squash team at the school, and we'd won the previous 2 national championships in 2017, 2018 against Harvard in the final, but this year we were killed 9-0 to them in part due to my absence. I feel bad that I let my squad down and would love to make it up to them, but then again, the whole point of going to college is to get a job after, and I have that in my hands right now, so it's a real conundrum. Thanks in advance, lads. Michael.
Consider quitting drinking, Michael.
Oh, good take.
All right, guys, I gotta break out to my next meeting. I love you guys so much.
Yeah,
I
I love
love
you
all
too,
the
man.
viewers
Yeah, yeah.
and everybody, and thank you
Yeah.
guys so much. You guys
Yeah,
are
I
awesome.
love you
I know,
too.
yeah,
Good
well.
to see you. Thanks for everything.
Come out for an ice bath and some hape soon.
Yeah, I'll see you at an ice bath.
Yeah.
And check out Mantrap, guys. Check out Certified Health Nut on Instagram, YouTube,
Mantribe.me.
mantrap.me. And thank you, Troy.
Thanks, Troy. I'll see you next time I do DMT in space. Yeah.
I got the phone number. We'll bring you down.
All right. Thank you.
Have a
brother.
good one. Oh yeah, what was he?
He wants to know if he should go back to college or get a job.
I
I
would
would
say finish college.
I would go back to college.
Yeah, it sounds like he has a good thing going there, and this is kind of like a last minute decision. Like, oh, I'll just get a job, and then it's something he'd regret later on.
Yeah, and college is fun, and you're an athlete, and you have
Yeah.
a girlfriend.
He
Like,
has the squash team.
yeah. And then you come back and you win the natty, and it's
Yeah.
like everyone knows it's because you came back.
Yeah.
And you're vindicated.
Yeah.
And then like that security guard is at the game, and he tips his hat a little bit to you, and you throw him a nod that
Yeah.
you both forgive each other and were made stronger through your shared fuck up.
I'd like to see that scene play out. He's like, I'm out of the party. He's like, get back 10 more feet. He's like, all right, let's fucking go.
That's where most fights happen, is like in that I've already said I'm sorry, quit pushing me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's get physical.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, sounds like you have a good thing going on at college. Some of my favorite, pretty much most of my favorite years were at college. Although I love my life now, but
But the fun
but
of
the
college.
fun, and I just gained so much knowledge when it came to boozing and socializing and having a squad and lighting couches on fire after a big team win, and peeing on couches and covering your friends in flour. Vital skills.
Some of the best stuff that can happen. And then, dude, if you had like a burning idea, like you were like, I want to get out of college because I have like this idea for like a beer bong that has like perfect flow, like Helix.
Yeah.
Like I'd be like, oh, well, go pursue that. That's a genius idea. But
Yeah.
it's just a job. It sounds like you didn't sound very passionate about. You sound more passionate about college than you do about the job.
Yeah.
So I'd follow your passion.
I mean, where else can you roller skate into a party? Not many places. They'll kick you out. There's bouncers.
Where else can you roller skate at work? Just if you work at like a drive-in restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not as fun as college. Hey bros, love the podcast, and finally I have a question I think is worth your time. There is a girl who I have gotten really close with and have developed serious feelings for. She's part of a small friend group I kicked it with just about every day. I'm usually pretty straightforward with girls I want to go out with, but this girl is 3 or 4 inches taller than me. I've used that as an excuse to never attempt to go after her, but didn't expect to have feelings for her for consecutive months. I never really pay attention to other girls anymore because this is the one on my mind. I've hooked up with other girls over the last couple years, but never had intentions of dating them. The tall girl I have a crush on does flirt back in my eyes, but I'm just not sure if the feelings are mutual. Wondering what your thoughts are and how I should go about this. I love what you guys do and keep the podcast coming.
Dude, I would. You gotta go for it. You gotta ask her out. I mean, what's the alternative?
Yeah, dude, if you love her, which maybe is jumping a few levels, you got to ask her out.
Yeah.
Ask her out on a hill.
Ask her out on a hill. I was thinking maybe get stilts or some big ass boots. Just or just like get a shirt that says like, there's a Yoda shirt that says size matters not.
Boom.
Yeah, just start rocking that shirt.
And she'll just see that, and then she'll start to think it.
Yeah. She'll be like, size matters not. You want to go out?
Boom.
Yeah, I do. Nice. Can I take these boots off now?
And then, yeah, you get some shoes that got like some big bottoms on them. I did that for a couple years.
Did
But
you?
dude, at some point, you're just going to accept,
Yeah.
Unless you're in the movie Gattaca and he puts 2 inches into his body. But it looks painful, bro. So
Yeah.
just accept. And I've never heard of a couple breaking up because one of the people was too tall.
Yeah.
You hear a lot of reasons why people break up, but you never hear that.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting one.
Yeah.
No, he's just too tall.
She's too tall for me. Just can't do it anymore.
There is heightism, though, among... Never mind.
No, there is. I mean, if you're on a dating app, the amount of like,
5'9" and above.
yeah, 6 foot and above, please. I like wearing heels.
Yeah. 6'4" and over.
But you know what, dude? And I'm not even mean this to be like not listening to women, but sometimes when I see that, I'm like, you know what? I'm still going to go for it. Like all you're doing is like making it more of a challenge, which kind of gets me more pumped.
Yeah.
You know, like, let's go. I'll be the first 5'8.5" guy you love.
Yeah. Maybe she's like 6'0" and above. First message you send, hey, I'm 5'7".
Yeah.
Just let her know.
Just on the date.
I think she'll that kind of confidence. She'll be like, whoa.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh.
Yeah, confidence is the biggest thing, even if you're not confident. Hello, Stoke Masters. I'm stuck in a bad sitch. One of my homies has been dating this girl for 2 or 3 years, and she has been in our friend group since I met my boy. They have also just broke up 2 months ago, but I have known this chick since I was in 2nd grade. She was my first crush. Since then, I've had a major crush on her, but then have been with other girls. But I don't know how to approach her since I've known her for so long, and one of my dogs has dated her. Thank you. Love the pod.
How long ago did you date her, did you say?
The friend just broke up with her 2 months ago, and they dated for 2 or 3 years.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
That's, I'm sorry to say, my dog, but that might be overstepping a freaking bro line.
I agree.
Like, if that were my friend, I'd be fucking pissed.
Yeah. If you do decide that, like, you're still going to pursue this because the heart wants what the heart wants, you got to talk to your boy and just get his vibe on it.
Yeah.
And if he's firmly against it, you kind of just got to accept that.
Or you got to, like, pick and choose, you know, which do you want?
Yeah, are you willing to lose your bro over this?
Yeah.
Yeah. And also kind of ding your reputation with your other boys.
Yeah.
Because they're going to think of you as the kind of guy who would do that.
Yeah.
Because you are.
It's not a good look.
No.
Especially, yeah, I would, take your boy out, you know, go to Chili's, get some Corona Ritas, and get some baby back ribs and see how it plays out.
Smart.
Because that's when you know he'll be in a good headspace and ready to receive.
Hey, broskies, do you have any advice for introverted bros? I want to rage, but I'm a gentle soul and sometimes feel like I'm a downer in the squad. Much love, Dougie.
Do you see that?
What?
The camera was just on my face. I was just looking at the camera.
Nice. It's quick.
Dude, I'm pretty introverted. But you know what? People don't care as much as you think they do. Unless you're sad and moping, I think you're good, my dog. You know, as long as you have the internal energy of like I'm pumped, I'm jacked. I may not be talking that much, but I'm fucking loving what's going on here. People can feel that, and it's contagious.
Yeah, as an extroverted dude, I'm fascinated by introverted people. Like if I go to a party and there's someone who's like kind of seems content to themselves, I want to know what they got that's allowing them to do that because I don't operate that way.
Yeah, I'm 50%.
Yeah, you're right on the cusp.
I'm half and half. One of my favorite things to do is just go to my room and fucking, you know, look at my vision board. Not really. No, but one of my favorite things to do is just like, you know, if I've been around people for a while, I love to go isolate. But I also love to be around people sometimes. Like, you know,
50-50.
50-50. But I would get very self-conscious if I'd be quiet around people, you know, like I wouldn't be talking much, and some people might be like, oh, why aren't you talking enough? And you'd be like, well, I'm just having a good time. So what's your problem? You know, it's all in, I think energy is contagious, you know, it's all in how you feel. Even if you're not gabbing it up, you know, chatting with everyone, just like whatever. If you like have inside that you're like, I'm feeling good, I'm having a good time, I'm enjoying my time, that will translate.
Yeah, and like, dude, if you have one good conversation at that party, that's a W. You know?
It's like you could be that one guy at the party where they're like, did you talk to Bradley over there? Everyone's like, no, I didn't. He's like, oh, he's a great guy.
Interesting guy.
Yeah, you gotta go have a conversation with him sometime. Really dive in instead of being like, he's the guy who crashed the party and was like, hey, what's up, dudes? You're sort of that mysterious guy.
Yeah, you're not giving it away. They gotta work for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you're like a hot girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you are a hot girl, dude.
Yeah, you got this.
We all are.
You got big bobos.
You got nice bobos, dude. All right. Should we get into our stuff?
Yeah, let's do it.
Chad, what is your beef of the week?
My beef of the week is with Jenny C. I'm going to leave out her last name. I lost out to Jenny C. when I ran for special events coordinator in 6th grade.
Whoa.
I'm gonna come out and say this, squad. You know, she was a notorious tattletale. Yeah, dude.
The worst kind of person.
And
Sorry.
I never thought the student body would elect her to be in charge of Ragers, honestly. You know, because I ran on a dope platform, 3 dunk tanks at the carnival, free Mountain Dew, and what'd she have? A cakewalk. Nice. Give everyone at the carnival lots of carbs and sugar. Get them foggy-headed for the carnival. That's really going to promote raging, Jenny. And I know what you guys are thinking. Mountain Dew, that's a lot of sugar. That's a lot of caffeine. There's probably carbs in there. There's a lot of just green stuff in there. But I'm telling you guys, when you do the dew, you are on cloud 9, okay? Dew is above all of those things, okay? So dew is not on the same level as a cloud walk, as a fucking cakewalk. Dew is on, you know, is with Danny Way doing a Christ air on a huge quarter pipe and then acid dropping off a helicopter, okay? So that's what I have to say about that. So my beef is with Jenny. Like, you know what? Like, you should have conceded to me. And honestly, I think it was rigged. I think the faculty just couldn't handle a true maverick coming in and shaking things up.
I believe it. I've seen it happen at the schools I was at.
Yeah. What's your beef?
And dude, putting secret police in charge of the parties, like tattletales like that,
Yeah.
it's like, all right, you're just ensuring that we're going to have like the most milquetoast party in the world.
I'm pretty sure she was a principal plant.
She's probably 35
Mm-hmm.
years old.
They have a lot of those at the schools these days.
Yeah. That documentary, 21 Jump Street, it's crazy.
Yeah.
My beef of the week is with a group of 12-year-olds that
Nice.
I
Dive into.
kind of played football with. When I was 17, I would go to OPH every Sunday, Original Pancake House, with some of my dogs, and we'd share some strawberry crepes. Then we go to 7-Eleven to get some Swisher Sweet cigars to puff on. They always made me spit a lot. I didn't really enjoy it. Then I was driving home in my dad's truck with my boys in the car. Strider was there, and Brooks and my brother. And we saw a bunch of 12-year-olds playing football in the park. So I pulled over the car, and I threw on my pads. And then I went running out there, and I said, all right, let's play. And the leader of the 12-year-olds was like, just get the hell out of here. And I was like, just say hike, dude. Call the play. And I was calling out, you know, defensive schemes. Like I was like, Robber, watch the backside rover. Let's go. And the 12-year-old who was playing quarterback, he just begged me. He was like, please go away. And I was like, say hike, dude. And so he said hike. He dropped back. He hucked up a bomb to his like shorter 12-year-old friend. And then I was playing free safety center field, played it beautifully, got it at the top of point of attack, and brought down the interception. I started running it back for a touchdown, and then the bravest 12-year-old ran up, jumped on my neck, and tackled me to the ground.
Wow.
Yeah. So then I threw off my helmet because I had just seen Troy, and I said, now you know who you're fighting. So my beef of the week is with that 12-year-old. You fought bravely, but if I really wanted to throw down, I probably could have cracked you good.
You know what you did for those 12-year-olds? You gave them a rite of passage.
Yeah.
You're the lion they had to kill.
That's pretty cool.
And that one guy.
Dude, I played for the Lions. My helmet said Lions on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, the universe works in mysterious ways.
Serendipitous. Yeah.
That guy's probably running like a hedge fund right now.
I hope so. Chad, who is your babe of the week?
My babe of the week is Costco. Really stoked on wholesale right now. Really amped on wholesale. Guys, I went to Costco and I just tore it up, okay? I went in there, I bought like 1,000 macadamia nuts, pounds of beef, so many chicken breasts. My freezer's just stocked full, ready with protein and just goodness. And shout out to Costco. You guys are a freaking babe, you know? I would say your interior decor is not, you know, of the highest level. I don't walk in and say, wow, you know, this is a place where I could set up camp and live. But I do say to myself, wow, these guys are ready to sell me things in big quantities.
They got everything there too.
Yeah.
You'll be in one aisle, it's cereal, then you go to the next aisle, it's dirt bikes. You're like, holy shit.
Dude, I bought pounds of ground beef, a bunch of chicken breasts, like 1,000 macadamia nuts, a beard trimmer, a dildo. What else did I get? Some t-shirts, and a tent, and a TV. You can't do that anywhere else.
No, that's awesome. Only at Costco. It's like one of the best places to go if there's an apocalypse.
Yeah. And I also bought an ATV.
Nice, dude.
Yeah. And a sword.
Hell yeah.
I keep forgetting what I bought.
You bought a lot, though.
Yeah.
I got a sword, too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pumped on it.
We should sword fight.
Down.
Let's have us a night fight.
Yeah. With the proper protection.
Oh, of course.
All right, dude. My babe of the week is Natalie Portman. She just came out of the gates like a fully formed actress. You know, you see her in Leon, The Professional with Jean Reno. She's so incredible. You really believe that she's this mature assassin in training. Then you see her in Beautiful Girls with both of these movies are super creepy in retrospect, but that doesn't take any shine away from the performance by Mrs. Portman. And then you know, she went to Harvard then after knocking out the episodes with George Lucas, the Star Wars movies, and now she's won an Oscar for Black Swan, and she played Jackie Kennedy in the Jackie Kennedy movie. And you know, she's just in all these prestige projects now, and she just keeps chugging along, doing great work. And I loved her in the movie Closer. That ending scene when she's walking to The Blower's Daughters by Damien Rice. Can't take my eyes off of you. You can't. So yeah, big ups to Natalie Portman.
V for Vendetta.
V for Vendetta, great movie.
She shaved her dome for that.
Yeah, I respect that.
Yeah, that's something I would never do.
We talked about it.
If Martin Scorsese is like, I want you to be the lead in my next movie, it's gonna be a smash. He's like, one thing that you gotta shave your head. I'm like, I'm good. Thank you though.
You're like, dude, don't you have a good bald cap I could use at this point?
That's what I would say, dude. I'd be like, nice try, Marty.
Yeah, he's like,
You're
look,
not getting me to shave my dome.
I want you to play Stone Cold Steve Austin in his biography. And you're like, Marty, I can't do it. But if you ever decide to make a movie about Triple H, I'm in.
Or Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, he's got a nice mane. Yeah, it'd probably be a better movie too. All right, Chad, who is your legend of the week?
My legend of the week is William Shakespeare.
Whoa!
Yeah. This guy was just a fucking maestro with the linguistics.
Yep.
I watched Romeo and Juliet last week, the Leonardo DiCaprio version, and it was legit. And even though the language is so old-fashioned and it's so confusing, it just flows beautifully. All the metaphors in there, everything in there is just, you know, it's just incredible to think that one guy, allegedly, wrote all these plays. Maybe it was a bunch of dudes, but I'm just going to say it's William Shakespeare.
I think it's one guy, because I read the Bill Bryson biography of him, and they said one of the reasons they think it was multiple guys is because he signed his name with different spelling.
Yeah.
But I guess people just used to do that. It was like a cool thing to do.
Yeah.
It's like nicknames. You nickname yourself when you sign stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he just uses beautiful language. It's so confusing, but so captivating, and these just like stories that have stood the test of time, and they're just legit, and I just want to speak like Shakespeare now, you know? If only Shakespeare came up with the word jabwow, you know, I'd be fully in.
He came up with betwixt.
Betwixt. God knows what else.
Yeah. Underhanded.
Do you think he was writing and he's like, dude, Leo's going to be perfect for this?
I think they do say he's the smartest man who ever lived, so maybe.
He's like writing, he's like, you know what? Heath Ledger and Julia Stiles are going to kill it in this one day.
I think he did know. He's like, dude, this is going to be like a pop staple or a teen staple forever.
Yeah. This is going to be great for Amanda Bynes.
He invented zany, admirable, aerial, amazement. Did he really? No way. But you're on that same trajectory.
Dude, I wrote a note in my phone. I'm like, create a new word, because it's been a year since the jabwow. So,
frugal, metamorphize, puking, swagger. No way. That's what this thing says. Take it with a grain of salt. But if he did all that, incredible.
Incredible. Who's your legend?
My legend of the week is a contemporary of Shakespeare, Christopher Marlowe.
Nice.
I'm playing.
I was like, damn, dude.
No, I think that guy was all right. No, my legend of the week is Ron Livingston, the actor from
legend.
Office Space and Swingers. You know, two iconic films. Went to a Yale acting school with Edward Norton, Paul Giamatti, and who Who's the other guy? Damn it. Well, there was another guy there. I'll figure it out. Oh, Liev Schreiber. Boom. Got it. Thank God. But yeah, he's just a killer actor, and he's been in so much great stuff. I loved him in that movie with Jesse Abbott that was like really intense, and and in Drinking Buddies, and I think he's just gotten better and better as an actor as he's aged, and he just never forces anything. He only does what the part calls for, and I think that's really admirable. So Ron, Office Space, Swingers, two of the most legendary movies in my canon, and I appreciate what you've done, dude. You're a freaking beast.
He's a legend, dude. Office Space never gets old.
No. It's so funny.
Yeah.
All right, Chad, what is your quote of the week?
My quote of the week, I was watching the Bruce Irons movie, the Bruce movie, a great Vulcan production, and Bruce's like surf coach from when he was like young, Dave Riddle, he took Bruce to Pipeline on a spring flat day. He's like, you see this break right here, brah? You own this, and this will be yours one day.
Dude, that's amazing.
And Bruce owns Pipeline.
Does he really?
He's one of the best pipe surfers out there for sure.
That's so cool.
What's your quote?
My quote of the week is from the Goo Goo Dolls song Iris. And I don't want the world to see me, because I don't think that they'd understand. When everything's meant to be broken, I just want you to know who I am.
Beautiful. That's epic.
Yeah. And sorry I was raw today. My dad's, maybe it's not because of that, but my dad's at the hospital getting his checkup, and it's...
Any news yet?
No news yet. Yeah, they got to do more tests tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it's just scary.
Why more tests?
They have to do a PET scan. There's something on like one of the veins. They don't think it's a big deal. They just think they're,
being thorough?
They're being thorough, exactly. Yeah.
Are there any results?
Nothing alarming, so I guess all positive so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then they're checking this one thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll know more tomorrow.
Gotcha. Well, best wishes to your dad.
Yeah, he's handling it very well.
He's got the best mindset I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's very
in the face of this.
Positive about it. He's just talking to me about like real estate prices in Montana.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
He's a killer.
Dude, what a beast.
He is. He's
what
just
a
killer.
legend.
Yeah.
Legend of the year.
And still very good to me too.
Yeah.
In the face, and I'm a fan.
For sure. Well, I'm optimistic for your pops.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
You want to do a review of the week and then sign off?
Yeah, let's do it. And real quick, we're glad to have Aaron back. Aaron,
yeah,
we missed you last week, man.
Good to see you. Okay, this comes from Sam Lesueur. Subject line, Legends Forever, dog. I have only one thing to say, and that's that this pod is the single best way possible to bring the stoke and light a fire in your heart to go get amped. Every time I finish another episode of this auditory gold, I find myself in a state of sheer power to do any number of things, including chugging, doing deadlifts, surfing, bleaching my dome, or chasing some tail. With the perspective of these two humble servants of Stoke, you can navigate your way through any number of difficulties this world throws your way. I have only one thing to say, and I think Chad already knows what it is. Jabwow, baby.
Did you know that's what it was?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. Sam Lesueur, you were in my dome.
Oh, Sam Lesueur, I get messages from him sometimes. Yeah, on Instagram. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a legend. What up, Sam Lesueur? Thank you for writing a review. Guys, keep writing the reviews. They help us out, and we love them. And we love you guys. Yeah, and let me plug the name of this band before we just put them at the end. So the name of the band is Calm, with a period at the end. So CALM, period. You can find them on Spotify. I listened to some of their tracks. I enjoyed them. So you'll hear one of them at the end of the pod. Legends. And, yeah, check out, if you guys want to hear more about Troy and all this stuff, check him out, Certified Health Nut on Instagram, YouTube. And thanks, Troy, for coming in. And thank you for the ice baths. I love them so much. There was one more question, actually. This dude had a good one, and it kind of related to
to a story I experienced this week. My dogs. Some questions in life we'll never know the answers to. Like the level of awe women feel when they see Joe's hog or Strider's German Shepherd like loyalty to his GF. But I have a serious question from one hot dude to another. It's very nice of you, man. What is your go-to move now that you have GFs when a dime piece smoke show is hitting on you at a bar? Gracias. You're a Hermosa bro, Mike.
What's your go-to move when the dime piece is hitting on you?
Yeah.
Yeah, just be gracious and, say you have a girlfriend.
Yeah, just be happy it happened.
Yeah.
But it reminded me that I was at Swingers with Joe and Strider and two other dudes. And the girls at the table next to us started talking to us. So Strider and I got like excited. They were like, "What do you guys think we should order on the menu?" And me and Strider were like, "Hey, it depends what you're into. What's your someone gluten free over here? You guys don't mind the gluten? What are we talking about? Because they got some great pancakes." And then I was like, I'm kind of the dinner expert. So for me, you got to do the steak and fries. Get some steak sauce on the side. And the girls were like, "Cool, cool, cool." And then we're like, "So where are you guys from?" And I was just doing it to tee up. The other three guys were single, but it's just easier to talk when you have a girlfriend. And then I was like, "Where are you?" One of the girls was being more shy. I was like, "Where are you from?" She's like, "New York." I was like, "Where in New York?" She's like, "Manhattan." I was like, "Where in Manhattan?" She's like, "The West Village." And I don't know why, but I was like, I wanted to say this joke, but then I was like, "No, I'm not going to say it. Never mind it." But everybody was looking at me because I had started already. And they were like, I was like, "Oh, I was just going to say, they got good jazz there." Mm-hmm. And then everyone was just like, "Why would you say that?" And the conversation died. And then Strider, being such a good bro, saw me drowning because everyone was just looking at me like, "Oh God, you're awkward." And the girls were like, "Okay." And then Strider, just being a good bro, just goes, "You like big apples?" And makes a worse joke. So he looks bad. So he just saw me hit a landmine and just explode. And then he's like, "I can't just let my bro go alone." So then he stepped on a landmine.
Nice. Bring the whole squad down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other guys, they were Joe's buddies from the Comedy Store. They were like trashing each other. Like I was like, "Oh, he's our vegetarian expert." And then the other guy was like, "Why would he be the vegetarian expert? He's fat." And I was like, "Dude, don't tear down."
I see that shit a lot.
I hate that.
What is that?
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
You're like, that's what we do. We give each other shit.
Yeah, I'm like in front of people.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's cool? Having cool friends. You got to build them up and be like, he is a diet expert.
Yeah.
He's got a PhD in diet.
It's so much nicer.
And just help. It works better. Like people like you more if they think your friends are cool.
It's so much more fun. Just good vibes. For sure.
Yeah, calling your friend fat in front of girls?
Yeah, I was going back to the question. I was at a bar in Venice with my GF and like two of her friends, and this like group of girls come up to me and they're like, "Do you know you look like Chad Goes Deep?" And I was like, "Oh, I was like, I am Chad Goes Deep. Or I'm Chad." And they're like, she's like, "Oh my God, my friends and I died." I look at my girlfriend. I'm like, just get away from me. Like to the girls, it was so awkward.
Oh really?
Well,
that's nice. You're so nice. Yeah.
I didn't. I was just like, "Oh, thank you so much." I was just like, I don't know. It was kind of awkward. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Because you want to be. I was like grateful that they were fans. Like I love the fans always, but
right.
At the same time, it's like three hot chicks.
Yeah.
My girlfriend.
You're like danger.
Yeah.
Yeah. You like say something rude to prove a point to you.
Nice shirt, idiot.
Yeah, that's how
And
you
I'm like,
handle it.
I'm like, "Babe, do you like that?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "No, why are we so mean?"
Right.
What? This is a completely new situation. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, that's what it is for me. If a cute girl ever hits on me, I'm like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Is something going on in your life?" Like we were gonna talk about it. We're trying to write a book about being bros, and I was talking to you about that. Like when girls came back from college, they were like kind of uncertain about what they were doing next, so they were just like partying extra.
Yeah.
And then like they started hooking up with like guys who they like losers, guys they wouldn't normally hook up with.
Yeah.
And I was one of those losers. Like I remember I was with this girl Nicole on 4th of July. She's like, "Let's go watch the fireworks and make out." I was like, "Are you fucking sure?"
Babe, I'm a train wreck.
Yeah, I was like, "All right."
Yeah.
I was like, "Let's do this."
What the fuck?
I was like, "I'm getting called up to the majors, baby."
But you're not a loser, my dog.
Oh, thank you, dog. Thank you. Yeah, she was cool too. We always had a good connection. She was a sweetheart.
No
Yeah.
losers have your squat.
You're come on.
That's all. Enough
No,
said.
you're the best.
If someone, not that anyone ever would, but if someone said that to you, just bust out a squat in front of them, and they'd be like, "Oh, sorry, I'll go fuck myself."
Oh, a squat?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. I love the squat.
Yeah.
And I'm working on it. I'm getting better at it.
I think that's a good move if someone tries to like clown on you. They're like, "Hey, fuck you, dude," and you just bust out a squat.
I got a strong base, bro.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, dude, this guy's trunk is fire."
Yeah, his foundation is solid. I can't topple this building.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they know I put myself through suffering.
And it's a peaceful way to let them know, like, you don't want to enter this battlefield.
No.
Because I'll fucking tear you up.
I will squat you until you want to get off my shoulders.
Is that the pod?
I think that's it.
Guys, episode 74. Aaron, so glad to have you back. Thank you for stopping in. Or for being here.
You're the best, dog.
Stopping in.
Yeah. That's fun. That's like a Mr. Rogers kind of thing.
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping in, guys.
Yeah. And, well, thank you for stopping in, Stokers, to the SoCal's most popular podcast.
Oh, and Aaron, what do you think about this is your first time seeing the logo, dude. It's an In-N-Out sign. And as some of you Stokers know, Aaron is public enemy number one of In-N-Out and the people who eat there.
I'm feeling very attacked, is all I can say.
Dude, good. All right.
All right, guys. Thank you, Stokers. See you later.
Thanks.
I had to lose it to recognize it. I'm feeling stupid, but I'm getting better. 'Cause it's all too much reminding me of you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're being you, whoever you want to be. 'Cause I can't listen to Joyce Manor anymore. Can't be in my bed, so I'm sleeping on the floor. And it's bad, and it's troubling. It sounds sad, but it's comforting. Me without you. Me without you. And so I see you, and my heart sinks when I go to that place full of regret. But if I truly love you, then I've gotta let you live. 'Cause I can't listen to Joyce Manor anymore. Can't be in my head, so I'm sleeping on the floor. And it's bad, and it's troubling. It sounds sad, but it's comforting. Me without you. Me without you. I'm so sick of sleeping on the floor. I'm so sick of sleeping on the floor. I'm so sick of sleeping on the floor. I'm so sick. I just wanna see you smiling happy. Want the whole world to fall into place for you. Just wanna see you smiling happy. Want the whole world to fall into place for you. 'Cause I can't listen to Joyce Manor anymore. Can't be in my bed, so I'm sleeping on the floor. And it's bad, and it's troubling, and it's sad, but it's comforting. 'Cause I can't listen to Joyce Manor anymore. Can't be in my head, so I'm sleeping on the floor. And it's bad, and it's troubling. It sounds sad, but it's comforting. Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, it's troubling. Yeah, it's sad. Yeah, it's comforting. Me without you.